First, I want to say thank you for doing the "Do You Want to Date My Avatar" music video. That was great and
thank you
a
for
great
being
inspiration. But my question is, how did you actually get involved, or how did Will Wheaton get involved with season 3?
Yeah, so I went to PAX last year, which they're very mad at me for not being there, but oh well. I knew Will before that because my co-producer Kim Evie knew him from improv. We did improv at this Acme Sketch Theater, which is funny because I met Kim there, and she was my first writing teacher ever. So that's how we actually met, which is a funny story. So she knew Will for a while, and I knew that she knew him because I met him at PAX. And at the same time, we had some enforcer people who were kind of helping us with our booths and stuff, and all the guys were in kilts. And I had never really encountered that. I was like, dude, why are these guys in the kilts? It's really hot with these guys in the kilts. So I was obsessed with creating a character in a kilt. And when I met Will, I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool, you know, to get Will involved in the show? And I didn't want to just stunt cast for no reason, because you know those kind of shows. It's like, oh, Britney Spears, she's a secretary. Why? I mean, not that she's, you know, but you know what I'm saying? You have to fit the role really well, I feel like. Don't do it gratuitously just because people will watch because that person is in there. Like, not to say that she wasn't fantastic. I don't know, she's a lovely person, I'm sure. But, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has seen the obvious cameo that is inappropriate. So I was like, well, I really need to make this character about what his character would be special. So when I finally got a character that I was like, oh, okay, start with kilt, make a character. Oh, Will would be good at this. So I took him to coffee at this place called LA Mill in Los Angeles. And so, this is a stupid story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. And it's a very fancy coffee shop where like everything's like $8 for the coffee, but they have the pure expression of the bean. So what?
Caribou is better.
Oh, caribou is better? No, not really. Sorry, are you Mr. Caribou? Are you Mr. Caribou? You work there? Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, this is a pure expression of the bean. They have, like, seriously, they have donut-infused milk. Like, what? Right? Yeah, it's the weirdest thing ever, and it's $8, so God love him. And I took him and I was like, hey, I have a character for it. Yes. And he immediately wanted to do it because he likes the show. So it was kind of a happy accident that he was able, not really, because I just told a really long story about how I got him in there. It was great. He wanted to do it, and he said the role was great, he liked the role, and he came in the first read-through, and I was just laughing so hard because he just nailed the character. So I think you guys are going to enjoy seeing him. You know, I wouldn't not write a great role for him. The thing is, I love about my show is that I write these roles for the characters, like Zabu and Bork, I wrote those roles for them. Because I do improv with them, and they're so funny. And then this season with the Rival Guild, I was like, ooh, I get new characters. So actually 3 of those characters are written for friends of mine, like Will and Teal and Mike Rose. 3 of the Rival Guild are, if you've seen the episode, those parts were written for them. So I'm excited for you to see them, and I hope you like them.
When will they be online?
So episode 1 is already online on MSN, and you can download it on Xbox and high def and Zune. And it's streaming and embeddable, so you can watch it right now. Just go MSN The Guild, and it's season 3, episode 1 is up. And on Tuesday, episode 2 will be available everywhere to everyone. Nice. It's a long episode, 7 minutes and 23 seconds. I don't know exactly.
Hi, Felicia. I want to thank you for coming to Dragon Con
and
being on this side of the coast.
Thank you.
In the web series The Legend of Neil, you played the fairy. The character is such a departure from the normal quirky girl type that I've seen you play. What sort of, did you have any inspiration or character that you used to base your
Doggy
character?
punching. Inspiration? Okay, so I'm basically myself. Like if you meet, you follow my Twitter, you read my blog, that's me without the profanity. I'm a very dirty mouth girl. You probably wouldn't know it, but I was talking about semen earlier. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, I was actually talking, it was a joke. This isn't sounding good. Anywho, I'm very, especially when I get mad, I'm just like, oh, I have a very dirty mouth, so that's fine. And then Sandy was like, I'm going to write you the dirtiest part ever. So he was inspired by me. I do take credit for that. And the cool thing with that part was when he sent it over to me, I was like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh, I'll just do a weird voice, you know, and I got this weird voice on, which I can't do because I've been talking too much. And that was basically, I just found the voice, and I was just like, she's really obnoxious. And that was my inspiration, and I had to Google a couple of terminologies he made me say. I really didn't know some of those. I had to Urban Dictionary it, and I was like kind of ashamed of myself because I try to pride myself on knowing all the terms. I didn't know. So that's the reason, and he wrote that part for me because I'm foul-mouthed. And that's the story.
Hi. I wanted to say thank you for coming to Dragon Con, first of all. And then I wanted to know how long it usually takes you to write a script.
Oh, that's a good question. I think that, without procrastination, it's probably a month of procrastination. It's hard because I write the scripts, so basically you see 5 to 7 minute episodes, 5 to 8 maybe for this season, but I write the whole script as a feature, essentially. So it takes a long time. Like, the easiest thing for me is the dialogue. The hardest thing for me is getting a good plot, because I never want to do something that people have seen before. You know, I knew, for season 2, for instance, I knew I wanted to have a love interest who wasn't a gamer for Codex. What I didn't have for like a month and a half was a character for that guy. And everything I came up with was boring. I was like, oh, he's a British actor. You know, everything was like, what is not going to make people yawn what they haven't seen before? And then I watched like some awesome like Jet Li movie because he's so hot. And I was like, oh, he could be a stunt guy. And you know, and I was like, oh, that's something that I think the people who watch our show, like gamers and geeks, and like, I think people will enjoy that. And like, if you like from Buffy, I've always had stuntmen hitting on me for years, and it's not. Listen, it's not special. They'll hit on anything that moves with the vagina. Okay, thank you. We were talking about vaginas in this hall. I told you I was dirty. Anyway, you know, they're just very flirtatious. They always hit on the actresses, like no matter what, but not in a like skeevy way. That's just, it's reflexive. It's like reflexive hitology. They have to hit on the girls. So I mean, those stunt guys. And the thing about Fernie is, he's a stunt guy, but he's like a total normal, nice dude. But he's like, dude, this is such an easy part for me because all my friends who are stunt guys act like this. Says the guy with a motorcycle, and he likes to jump off buildings. So I don't know. That's the funny part. So you know, sometimes it takes me longer, like for plot. And the thing is, like, I like to, you know, add as much as possible in each episode, and so it's a lot of layering and recutting, and I write really long. So I would say that it took me probably 3 months to write the script for season 2, which is kind of like a feature script. So it was 103 pages, very long, but it was fun.